Hello everyone, this is Phi. Today I'm checking out Technocult. This is a part of the AGDG Demo Day 26. We're going to give this a playtest, see if we can give some useful feedback. This is not a game I've seen before, but I do have the game page open here, so I'll read this real quick. A top-down roguelike shooter with P2P online multiplayer. P2P, by the way, is peer-to-peer. The weapons in this game are fully modular with a few million potential gun combinations, allowing you to add or swap out pieces for better ones you find along the way. Artifacts can be found that change the appearance of the player. Each character has a unique primary weapon along with 3 abilities. The game only has 2 floors and 1 boss currently, and needs a lot of polishing and content in most departments. Move with WASD, switch weapons with Z. That's a strange choice. Look at item info with E, scroll with up and down. Okay, so I guess they mean the up and down keys on the keyboard. 1, 2, and 3 for abilities. Thanks for testing my game. Alright, so I don't know if the buttons are rebindable or anything. And just by reading this, I don't think these are like keys I would use. In particular, like the Z key, you can reach it, but it's a little awkward in my opinion. To use the Z key with a WASD game. There's a lot of other keys you could use, so, you know, F key, E key, Q key. 1, 2, and 3 for abilities is okay. I don't prefer that either myself. I prefer abilities to be, you know, the keys immediately surrounding like Q, E, F, R, you know, whatever. There's a lot of other things it could be. For like an action game in particular, because you have to take your fingers off of the WASD to reach up to the 1, 2, and 3. It's a little awkward. Sometimes for, you know, switching weapons in FPS, it's okay, as that's kind of been a classic thing, but even that, in my opinion, is not ideal. And look at the item info with E, that's fine, but then scroll with up and down, like, if it is the up and down keyboard keys, you know, I don't like to have to take my hand off either the mouse or the WASD to reach for those. But we're gonna have to jump in the game to see how things actually work out here. So let's get rid of the overlay. I've not seen anything past the screen you're seeing here. This is a windowed game, apparently. You can try Alt-Enter. Doesn't appear to have any effect. So I definitely prefer playing games full screen, especially exclusive full screen, because you get the lowest latency and everything runs smoother. But nonetheless, we'll give this a shot. I'm not gonna try multiplayer. I don't know. I don't have anyone else to play with right now, so I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Malarin is a fighter that does his best to work in the dark, gaining increased strength and agility when away from light sources. Get up close and personal with his high damage, low range primary weapon, or fire deadly blows from within the shadows. Alright, so this is the kind of game that tends to have a lot of numbers, I imagine. Being a roguelike or a roguelite, if you prefer. Now, I would kind of expect to click on these, but I guess maybe... Alright, we're using the up and down keys on the keyboard. I would consider adding mouse controls, and also, you know, just use W and S. If it's a WASD game, you can just use W and S for up and down rather than having to reach for that over here. Alright, it's a bunch of locked characters. It's nice to have different playstyles represented in this genre of game. Tana is a techie who utilizes her engineering prowess in battle. She functions best when she stays in one spot and hunkers down with her turrets, but can still maneuver around enemies by using her grappling hook. Alright, that's interesting to me. The text is a little hard to read. Brug is a creature that can take a beating, then give one back twice as hard. He loves to become the center of attention, either by charging straight into the enemy, or by walking into the crossfire to reflect enemy projectiles. When nearby enemies die, his maximum health increases permanently, slowly building him up to become extremely tanky. Alright, very interesting. Okay, so he can reflect enemy projectiles. It's kind of info tucked away in there, I guess. Alright, right here. Gain a shield that deflects bullets for 4 seconds. Body slam, dash, dealing 10% of your maximum health as damage. That's interesting. So you can build up your health and also it will carry over to your ability. That's a good design principle. While also reducing incoming damage by 80% for 1.5 seconds. Unstoppable growth. When a nearby enemy dies, heal for 3% of your missing health and permanently gain 2 maximum health. Alright, so I don't know what nearby means exactly. So that would be something that would be worth knowing. And I'm not sure how easily that would be tested in the gameplay. Maybe there's some kind of a feedback for when it happens or something that we can look for. So I think I'm mostly interested in Tana. I don't know if I'll be able to have time to play all the characters, but it's possible. Blow up the turret that you are hovering over. Advanced repositioning. Ah. I see. Grappling hook. Throw out a grappling hook that stops when it hits a wall. Then Quicks pulls Tana towards where it landed. I think that it's meant to say quickly. Granting 90% damage protection while she's being pulled. Oh. That's cool. So it's very evasive. Place down a turret within a short range. This turret fires the same type of bullets as the gun held upon its creation. Oh, fascinating. While taking certain penalties, 20% less damage and 20% slower fire rate. Each turret alive doubles the cooldown of this ability. Turrets despawn after 60 seconds. Alright, so as you create more turrets, they are debuffed more and more. Oh, it debuffs the cooldown of this ability specifically, not the turrets themselves. I don't know why I misread that. Doubles the cooldown of this ability. Okay, so it just takes longer to build more, and they despawn after 60 seconds. Okay. So yeah, I really like the concept of the turret firing the same type of the bullets as the held weapon. I think that's really quite interesting. How that kind of the weapon that you have is consequential and how it affects how your turret works. I think that's cool. So yeah, definitely some interesting concepts already just in the presented design of these characters. Let's go ahead and try Tana. Interesting. I don't know anything about these weapons here. I guess it's something you just have to learn with experience so far, but like with this stuff I can hover over it to get info and stuff, but I don't get any info on like hovering over these weapons. Also, I don't know what they are. I didn't really look at these stats much. It looks like Tana has a high attack and then mediocre speed and very low defense. So that's interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead and try Tana. Alright, this feels to me like there's just not a lot of resolution we're working with. Like, it's very zoomed out. But I mean, the fact that this is windowed right now, it's not really, you can't really tell in the capture. It probably looks slightly blurry. But it's not taking up my full screen, so I feel like if this was full screen, this would look a lot better. It looks like it's just kind of squeezing everything into less pixels, really quite unnecessarily. Wow, that's extremely loud. Okay, do I have... I can reload. I think reloading is free, so there's not like limited ammo. I think. I don't know what this thing is right here quite yet. Maybe it's telling me where to go. I think I'm gonna have to turn the volume down here. Let's go ahead and drop the volume in the capture a bit so I could talk over it okay. Hopefully. But yeah, it's a very common problem for amateur games to have like the volume of everything just too loud. And I always recommend developers just, you know, open up some other games that you have on Steam or whatever and just kind of compare the relative volume levels of your own game to theirs and just try and get everything into just a ballpark of just your overall volume level. Now I don't know if that's something I can read. This, I pressed E. I think this is like inventory or something. Okay, so this text is very hard to read actually. I can read it, but it's just, it looks really blurry. Again, I think this would work better if this was in full screen. Like here where it says speed, all the letters are kind of mushing together. So I'm guessing this is describing the weapon I currently have. These are the components of it. Standard grenade handle, grenade top, grenade bottom. Interesting. So I guess these are my grenades. Interesting how it shows the gun stats, but it doesn't show like the grenade stats. I don't know how any of that stuff works here. If I try and look at this, 12.5% damage. Now I think if it's green, then that's like plus damage, because all the red ones have a minus symbol, except for the recoil one. So I think where there isn't a subtraction symbol here, then it means it's addition, but it doesn't say, it doesn't have the plus sign for some reason. 12.5% damage, minus 12.5 fire rate, 25% accuracy. Yes, if I say 25% accuracy, it sounds really inaccurate, but I think it's, the handle is adding to the accuracy, so that's a little weird. Or yeah, I think maybe it's like this is 25% accuracy and this is minus 15% accuracy, and this is minus 35% accuracy. So that's like, I think the total is like minus 15% or something. I did do that completely wrong. Minus 25%. But my point is, I don't know how the numbers work out exactly. It says accuracy 75, handle, body, magazine, snub barrel. So I don't know if there's like a base receiver part of the weapon. It looks like the body is here and then the handle. No, I guess these parts all come together to form this weapon, so that doesn't look like there's a separate like receiver part or anything. So yeah, I don't know how the math works exactly, but presumably I'm gonna want to like familiarize myself with these numbers, so if I find something else I can like make decisions about it. But for now, that's what the E key does apparently. Oh, the F key makes it bigger. Oh, well, look at that, we've got full screen. Okay, so that's interesting. Wasn't mentioned on the game page, but you can press F to change the size of the screen and get into full screen. So I just checked to make sure the capture was still working there. Alright, so we got full screen now. We don't have to complain about that anymore. It's looking a little jerky. So I don't know if... Alright, there's no options on the escape. Escape key does nothing. Oh, P does something. It makes the game hitch. I don't know if it's saving a screenshot or something. I don't know, it makes the game hitch for a second. I was curious if there was like a pause button, but it doesn't seem that way, so I don't know why it hitches. Ooh, you can go all the way. Is this like a little hidden area down here? That's pretty weird. Oh, I can kind of go in right here too. Is there something weird going on with the collision on this wall here? Oh, okay, there's barrels here. Alright. So, yeah, so what I'm noticing is that you can go like really far down here to where this wall is obscuring like everything. Needless to say, this can be problematic for gameplay if... Not only is it confusing if you get down here because you can't see where you are exactly, but also like if there's enemies or other important items. These barrels were apparently spawning down there. I couldn't even see them. Could definitely be a problem. Assuming they spawn there from the random generation or whatever. But yeah, it does seem like the scrolling is kind of jerky. So I don't know if that's because VSync is not enabled or if that's something else. Go ahead and just shoot some dudes here. Oh, that guy, holy crap, that guy's fast. Where did that guy come from? Oh, that guy jumps too, holy crap. Alright, really resilient enemies, and there's a lot of them all at once. Let's try and get some health back. That was very painful. Is everyone dead? What's that? Oh, the weapon's not accurate. Right, so that accuracy was a thing. Okay, I can't go back in here apparently. It's kind of too bad because there's a lot of health in there. Alright, so a couple things I noticed. One, that red, there was some red guy that was like really fast, and he just like he ran into me and like really smacked me around a lot, like really fast. So it's kind of hard to tell what was going on there for a second. I think he took a big chunk of health away from me. Oh, that just blew up. So I'm not sure, but I don't think there was like a lot of invincibility after I got hit. Like, oh, that's just a hole. Okay. Which could be a problem, you know, if you get in these situations where enemies just start, you know, like pinballing you back and forth or just smacking you over and over again, like really fast. That's not great. Now, the abilities are 1, 2, and 3. I gotta, oop, it's not responding. Oh, I guess it was just randomly regenerating a different level. That was a little weird. Alright, so I think this little mark on the left here is a little mini-map type thing. Alright, that blue one just blew up. I think you get like random crits or something. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't personally care for how inaccurate this sort of single-shot weapon is. I guess it's really frustrating because you already have to aim like as part of the game, and when the shot just doesn't go where you point it, it can be really annoying. In my opinion, it makes more sense for like really rapid fire weapons where you just get kind of a spray. But for single shot weapons, I feel like it feels kind of awful and it's really unforgiving. Especially if they're gonna just like wobble around like that and dodge your bullets. Because then it's not even like up to you to aim at them. If that makes any sense. So like, if they're like weaving around the bullets, that gives me the impression that they're like, you know, it's supposed to be a challenge for the player. Like, oh, the enemy's mobile, so I have to aim more carefully. But the problem is that with the weapon I currently have, aiming more carefully doesn't actually give me a benefit because there's so much spread and randomness in the actual direction of the shot. So it kind of seems like those two design principles are working against each other. I think this is just gonna blow up. Oh, I don't know. The game just slowed down a bit for a second, or was that like hit stop? Maybe. Right, so I haven't taken any damage. Also interesting how on my very first run I went into a room and like immediately there's just a ton of enemies that really beat the crap out of me, so it's kind of like a really rough introduction into the game. Whereas this time it was not nearly so bad. So maybe that's sort of a balance thing you could consider tweaking a bit. I think I'm dropping a few frames, maybe? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh, that guy died real fast, considering how big he was. Like, I'm pretty sure I fought those big guys in my last run and they took like 1,000,000 hits. I'm not sure what these glowing things are. Oh, they're coming out of these. It's actually not super obvious to me that these tower things are emitting these bullets. I think you could have like a little shot effect maybe, and you also can't really tell which way they're facing, except I mean there's like a tiny little what do you call that, barrel I guess on the turret that you can barely see, but you kind of have to wait until you see the behavior of the bullets before you can tell where they're facing or anything. Alright, so, oh, these guys can jump right over these walls. Oh, this guy has guns himself. So I know I haven't used the abilities yet, which is something I need to get into the habit of, or at least start experimenting with. Yeah, I would really consider blocking off more of this so you don't go so far behind the wall. Or you could also, you know, there's other solutions to make it so you can see more here when you're behind it. Like have a little cutout that kind of shows what's behind it around your character, or you could, at the very least, you know, just draw like a little silhouette of your character so you can see yourself, maybe enemies, if they're back there. So yeah, the abilities, it's unfortunate I can't mouse over them like this to kind of look at them. Because yeah, I have to just kind of go from memory. I don't think there's any way to actually check what abilities I have or anything. I know the E key opens up this. Oh, I can still play while this is open. But, so just press the buttons. So 1 doesn't do anything. I think 3 is the turret one, which is weird. What was 1 again? I don't remember what 1 was. Oh, that was to destroy the turret, right? It's a little weird that the first ability is like destroy the turret. I don't know what's going on down here, something's flashing. And then the third ability I think is to build the turret, and then the second one I don't... Oh, that's the grappling hook. Alright, yeah, so there's some hitching going on here with the visuals. I don't really know what's going on. For your reference, I have a GTX 970. Performance is not so great right now. My CPU is a 2600K. So 2 is going to be the grappling hook. That had a lot more reach than I expected. 3 is going to be the turret. It just dropped it into the hole though. So these are on cooldown. I think there's no other... Does it just drop where you're pointing? Like, that seems to be the case. Now I have to wait for... I think I can... Oh, I have to... Oh. Well, that was unexpected. So definitely didn't expect the turret explosion to harm me. But yeah, apparently you have to aim with the mouse. So this is all stuff that wasn't very obvious to me. Could probably be made more clear. Getting some more visual glitches down here. So yeah, I guess we have to use the 3 key to just throw a turret like anywhere. Alright, it's only within like a range about this far, I guess. And then I have to mouse over and press 1 to destroy it. Oh, okay, right mouse button is grenade. Does not seem like they're gonna recharge, so I probably have to get them from barrels or something. I can jump, I didn't even realize I could jump before. Alright, so you get a little bit of a horizontal speed boost, it looks like, when you jump. Which is interesting, but it also introduces this element of you apparently move faster while jumping, so like, if someone's really impatient or if they're speedrunning the game, they're just going to be jumping the whole time. Which can be, you know, not necessarily a good thing because, you know, sometimes people feel like they have to optimize the game in these ways and then they get tired of doing it, you know. But that's not necessarily such a problem. It's just something to think about, I suppose. Right, lots of this stuff going on. These, I feel like whatever code is swinging these things around is a little bit unusual in that it appears like like this middle one, for instance, seems most obvious, but when it goes further away, it seems to accelerate a bit, and then like as it gets closer, it kind of slows down. So I think there's probably some math going on here that wasn't quite correct. Can I jump over this? Oh, well, I can get closer. Alright, so I'm assuming the fire-looking Mario kind of ones aren't gonna... Oh. Okay. Okay, so I can kind of tell from the shadows below them that it looks like it's the lower part that's actually gonna hurt me. I feel like I should experiment with this, even though it's awful. Okay, so that knocked me back a lot more than I expected. I don't mind dying at this point anyways. I'm not really playing seriously. But yeah, a lot of knockback on that. That's probably unnecessary, especially when there's bottomless pits around. You get into the realm of just needlessly unforgiving, I think, in my opinion. Wow, I just totally walked into that guy. I was looking elsewhere. So yeah, it looked like I took a lot of damage really fast just from touching the guy. I don't think there's much in the way of invincibility frames after taking a hit, which it could be something worth considering. A little bone fell out. It's definitely nice to kind of keep the player mistakes you know, you don't want these situations where the player is playing great and then they make like 5 mistakes in the course of like 1,000 milliseconds or something and then die. You know, like once they mess up, you got to give them that little breathing room time so that they can reset themselves. Right, the hitboxes are a little unusual in that, like this guy has, you have to shoot kind of towards his feet, which is, it's sort of the consequence of the isometric viewpoint kind of. It does make sense, but on the other hand, in my opinion, I think it's better to have the hitbox kind of on the sprite itself. And also, there's not much reason to not have kind of forgiving hitboxes when it comes to shooting enemies like that. Is this a thing I can interact with? I don't know why this little... Is it a little rock or a little hatch on the ground? How do you interact with things? Okay, F was not the key to press. Alright. Switched out of full screen mode. Oh, Z was something. What is Z? Oh, Z is to swap weapons. Okay, so I have a different weapon. Alright, so let's okay. Oh, okay, so you can hit reload and then swap weapons. It won't finish the reload, but it'll, I think it like saves the state of the reload, so when you swap back it'll continue where it left off, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know which one of these weapons is better. There's something over here. So this thing runs out of ammo pretty fast. Alright, so yeah, I didn't like how the enemies are being obscured by this. I don't even know what that was, actually, that I killed. I also noticed there's little... I don't know if they were numbers or something. Like when the purple shots hit something, there were like more purple things coming out that were a little distracting because they kind of looked like... just kind of added some visual noise. Like I don't think I needed to dodge those other purple things, but it, you know, they kind of blended in with the bullets a little bit. If that makes sense. Oh, okay, so I tried something that didn't work. So there's some ability to control... Oh, interesting how it starts here and then... Alright, so you have air control, but you still have inertia on it, so you can't change direction after you hit jump really fast. So you definitely have to make sure you're running in the direction you want to jump in before you hit the jump button there. Alright, I gotta use the abilities. I really don't like the placement of using the 1, 2, and 3 to activate the abilities. While trying to play the rest of the game. This is the first time I got a chest. Press Q to attach to weapon. Minus 50. Ooh. Reload time. Feel like that should go on the other weapon. So do I press Z and then Q on this one. Oh, that's the standard. Oh, okay, I get it. So that's what I swapped out for. All right, so what, in my opinion, what you should do here is when this pops up and you have the ability to swap this onto your weapon, I think you should all just show the stats of what you already have equipped at the same time. So you can see like what you could pick up and then you can compare it to what you already have. I think that would work a lot better. But yeah, so this only has 10 ammo, so it's less than the 15 ammo one, but it reloads apparently twice as fast. So yeah, that's like way better, I think. Oh, something died. There's little boxes over there. Oh, well, that's weird. I just started this run, but I got some kind of something going on here. Got some music for a change. Ooh, this is the boss, Carmine. Oh, he attacks instantaneously. Alright, I definitely don't like the instant lunge. That was like unavoidable. Oh, he jumps way fast. I don't know if he jumps over you, I just don't see how you avoid that speed of an attack. Wow, those bullets. Those bullets are really big ones. It's very hard to avoid bullets of that size. Oh, he's walking faster than I can. I guess I have to jump to escape. How do I get away? Do I shoot, slow him down? Yeah, it's okay. I guess shooting him slows him down, but he's just running at me. Okay. All right, so like, yeah, the fact that he can run faster than I can, and I don't have much in the way of evasive options, is a bit frustrating. I did notice, you know, if you jump, you do move a little faster, but that didn't seem quite adequate. And then I noticed, you know, if you shoot him, he slows down a little bit, but not like a massive amount. And the problem is that when he has this big old hitbox on him because he's big, so once he starts like running towards you and kind of gets you into a corner, you're trying to shoot him and like run the opposite direction, but once you run out of space, then you can't like get around him, and he just kind of walks into you and over again and kills you. And again, I'm getting in this situation where I'm taking a lot of damage, or a lot of hits really fast, instead of having like a little bit of a breathe time where I can have some invincibility frames. Okay, so Tana's speed. So this is interesting to think about. So her speed is not. I mean, I think this guy's is a little lower, but her speed isn't great. Like this guy can move a lot faster. That's gonna affect the balance of that kind of boss a lot when he's just gonna run at you like that. Because in theory, like with this character, I could probably have just like kited that guy, just with my movement speed. Whereas with this character, you know, you have to take into account the different speeds of the characters, I think, when you're balancing these bosses. Anyways, again, I didn't really use the turret much. It is gonna be a little hard to get used to. I know I should probably try the other characters, but it's gonna be a little hard to get used to this idea of reaching for the number keys to plop down these turrets. I just have to kind of force myself to do it, but it's definitely a bit uncomfortable. Alright, so nothing of value in here, I guess, or can I? No, I can't jump over that. It's interesting that I kind of ran into a boss almost right away. Alright, I pressed 1 while I'm hovering over this and it didn't do anything. I just hit the wrong key. I guess I have to be close enough. It's a bit annoying in my opinion, especially since they actually hurt you if you're really close. I forgot about the grappling hook too. So yeah, that could have helped me with the boss, of course. I didn't even consider that, but yeah, it's just you gotta learn to work with the abilities. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So apparently he's got set on fire in addition to everything else going on just then. Wow, that guy was really fast moving. So yeah, that was a lot all at once. Thankfully I didn't take like more than half my health. But yeah, it's weird if you walk into a room and then everything just kind of explodes on you at once. Surprising that barrel didn't detonate the other barrel. I gotta find the 3 key. It's awkward to me to reach for the 3 key as my primary ability key. Notable that you can't see very far in the down direction in particular. Also in the up direction, but with the sort of isometric viewpoint, the down direction is even worse. Oh, is there something else to kill here? What happened to my little mini-map thing? Do I just not get one anymore, or did I hit a button that got rid of it? So, am I trapped? Is this some kind of a bug where it didn't open up, or missing something here? This little rock on the ground that stops you from walking. I don't know if that's intentional. It seems like a mistake. Also, there's something right here. That's not so great. Definitely don't want to get caught on something like that while I'm trying to fight enemies. So yeah, I think the game might have hit a bug here. It didn't open the next door. I can only assume. I might have to restart. Jeez. I wasn't even all that close to this thing, and it still did that. That's my grappling hook. Yeah, I definitely am hurting for those rebindable controls here. Like, if I could put grappling hook on, like, the shift key, the turret on, like, F or something, that would be, like, way better for me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, like, can I just restart the game somehow? I don't think there's any button to do that, so I might just have to... Yeah, it's actually kind of weird that there doesn't seem to be a way to... Oh, the tab key did something. It brought back this mini-map, but the whole screen flickered, so that was weird. I'm just gonna have to close the game, I think. Alt F4, and then we're gonna go ahead and relaunch it. Give it a little more time. Oh, I apparently closed the... Wait, where is it? I have to find the location that it's on my computer again to run it. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's in here, okay. Yep. Here we go. Alright, let's go back into full screen mode. Make sure that's hooked in. Alright, so we could try Malarin. He's gonna have the better move speed, so that should help things. He gets stronger in the dark for some reason. Throw a knife that heals for 50% damage dealt. Interesting. Having a healing ability sounds very powerful in a game like this. Like, exceptionally powerful, actually. Just being able to heal yourself. Ravenous Hunger for 8 seconds, gain 30% damage, 30% speed, 50% fire rate, and 30% lifesteal, but take 25% of your maximum health as damage afterward. Alright, so there's some... what's the word? Gosh darn. Well, in any case, the abilities can be kind of used together. Synergy, that's the word I'm looking for. And then Night Stalker, when not near any lamps, gain 15% speed, 15% damage, and 15% lifesteal, so you get even faster. Let's go ahead and try him. Alright, I clicked play. I guess we're waiting for it to generate the level. Alright, yeah, way faster already. Oh, it's got a little shotgun kind of thing. The bullets... I guess a few of the bullets are like really big ones. It looks really weird. Definitely think it'd be nice if there's a little more of a consistent spread rather than this kind of random RNG spread. I don't care for it as much. Got a little more health and everything. Wow, he just like teleported through me. That I would consider that attack unavoidable. I don't know how anyone is meant to avoid that kind of attack. The kind of speed he just dashed through me like that. Alright, so I got the 1 key, and it's going to be hard to hit those number keys to like throw a knife like that. Let's see, what's the other weapon? This guy. Interesting. Then 2 is that's the boosty one where you get all your buffs, and then this one is the passive one. Oh, is there a highlight when it's active? Alright, so I don't see any kind of feedback indicating when it is or isn't active so far, unless I'm just misreading visuals here. Holy crap. Almost walked right into that guy, so probably you could tweak the level generation or something a little bit so that like when you walk to a room you don't just like immediately run into an enemy. You know, just give a little bit of space. I do like shotguns though. Be nice to have some audio on the reload effects too, so you get some feedback when that's happening. So I have to look up here. Not a lot of range, but that's okay. So these are lamps, right? Okay, so I think there is... Okay. There is a little bit of a highlight here when you're away from the lamps, but like in this place there's just no place to go that counts as away from the lamps, it seems. A little corner right here. That's interesting. It'd be nice if there's some kind of a visual effect on like the character sprite, so you could really see what was happening instead of looking down here. It's just not very noticeable. And it's not noticeable in the sense that you can really feel it either. Like if I look for it I can kind of tell, but it's a subtlety, so. Let's don't remember all the buffs I get or anything again. I wish I could just like mouse over these and read the things again. So presumably I wanna miss these puffs of steam or whatever they are. Alright, tactical stock, 20% accuracy, and less recoil. Now, how does that compare to what I already have? I'll have to press the key to find out, right? Oh, whoops, I hit F. My bad. Okay, so I hit Q, and then it didn't, like the other one didn't pop out, so I'm thinking, was it E? Okay, so it added the stock onto everything without taking anything off. Alright, so these are all things I think could use some more feedback. Also, can I take this off again? I don't think I can take this off again. Unless I find another weapon, then maybe I could. So what I was thinking is like, what if I wanted to take this off and put it on this one? Which seems, if I understand correctly, this would be possible if I found another item that was like I was going to be able to swap with something, because once I can swap items like that. Oh. Wait, no, never mind. It would have to be this. It would have to be an item of the same type. Okay. So specifically, if I found another stock, then I could swap it, and then I could put this one on the other one, which is a bit obvious. But yeah, I think it might be nice to be able to like go into the screen here and make some kind of changes with things. Also, this is apparently it has scrolled. Oh, I can use the arrow keys again. I don't like reaching for those arrow keys, but E key. Where am I? Okay. So I got this on my shotgun. It has a lot less recoil, so that's probably a good thing. And then the extra accuracy, I don't know. Like, did it tighten the spread or something? Possibly. Alright, we got another boss fight already. Probably shouldn't shoot those yet. Let's try to... Oh, there's no lamps in here, so that's good. Alright, Carmine. Let's see if we can do a little better against you. Get a little closer, but I have a lot more movement speed. Oh, can I kill? Oh my gosh. I can't kill that either. So yeah, those blue bullets, in my opinion, are really big. Just makes the hitboxes are huge, so it just makes it unnecessarily hard to dodge. I think they're like as big as I am, so I would definitely consider shrinking those down a little bit. Oh, well, I don't know how I could have avoided that. Let's hit him with a knife. And I should try this guy. Oh, jeez. Hit him with a knife again. Okay. So you can use the knife pretty rapidly. Alright, we got red cap. So apparently you can get clothing. And double barrel. Oh, wait, what? Red cap, double barrel. Right, a little bit of a... Everything's kind of stacked on top of each other. I would consider moving everything here, kind of spreading it out a little more so you don't get into the situation where you like don't know which thing you're interacting with. Also, there's this hole right here, and I could understand if somebody fell in here accidentally after beating the boss without picking any of these things up, and that would be really disappointing. Okay, double barrel, less damage, less fire rate, less accuracy, and 2 times the bullets per shot. That sounds really great for a shotgun. But it almost halves the damage, so I don't see as much of a benefit. I think it actually more than halves the damage when you account for the fire rate in addition to the minus 43% damage. But then I guess that depends on... Oh, wait. Okay, I have a spread barrel that can't be removed anyway, so I don't think I can actually pick this up. Yeah, it doesn't work. So that would be something that would be worth indicating on the screen here also, I think. I can attach it to this, which... 115 damage. Let's just do it for the sake of science. Yeah. So what this is going to do for me, I believe, Oh. It doesn't really even give me like a spread or anything. There's a little bit, but not very much. So yeah, we get a little bit of a spread, so you're going to end up potentially hitting more shots than you would otherwise, but it's at the cost of like a little bit of overall damage. Yeah, so I think you lose some damage, but you get a little bit more of a spread. So, probably a counterintuitive sort of item, but I don't find it particularly exciting. Curved magazine, 12.5% fire rate, 20 ammo. Can I put that on my shotgun? That's a lot of ammo. Seems really good. Z and then Q. Oh, but this is a fast magazine, so that's going to make a big difference. So it has double the ammo. Well, let's try the curved magazine. Interesting. Can I just hold it? I can. Whereas... Wait, what? So this one's really consistent because the time between shots is equal to the reload time. Whereas this one, it doesn't, I don't know why it is, but apparently for some reason with the fast magazine, my shot, what's it called? My rate of fire actually increases. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, this seems better just for that reason alone. It does have a little bit longer reload time after you take 4 shots. Alright, let's get the hat. We get 100 health. I think I accidentally simultaneously picked up the hat and the magazine here, or I might have hit the Q key like twice really fast, but I think that's unlikely. So that's interesting. Short barrel. Right, let's keep going. It's weird that it shows this. Okay, got a little Mario hat. Green goo on the ground. I don't know that that means anything. Let's check for health. Hit that reload key. Yo, holy moly, that was not expected. Oh, I'm trapped. Okay. That was really unexpected. Alright. Use the knife. The knife seems really powerful. Even if it's hard to reach for that button. It's a lot of enemies. Just throw that knife out there. Oh, they're so fast. They're so fast. Oh, it's really hard to weave in between these guys. What just hit me? Alright, we're doing okay. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I mean, there's this like really fast small guys and there's some bullets coming at me and I kind of wished I could just, you know, dodge in between them, but it seemed almost impossible just with the... Oh, got a bit of a hitch there. Just with the speed at which the small enemies are moving and changing direction, in addition to it's also some inertia on the player, which, I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It could be less, which would make the movement a little more responsive, but I don't think that, I wouldn't call that a problem necessarily. Oh, ice grenade bottom. Increased distance explosion freezes enemies. Sure. I haven't used the grenades at all. This is one of these other things I just have to get used to. Using all the tools available. Don't want to shoot these tanks, clearly. Just hit that tab key to open the map. I don't know why it turns the screen black there for a bit. Guess we're going down here. Oh. I had to reload. Wondering why it wasn't shooting. That was... I moved the mouse a little. It's completely missed with that knife. Can I shoot in here? I guess there's little barriers here. It's really confusing when they start jumping up, because it's like you can see them over here, but they're actually up in the air. So yeah, it's hard for me to reach for that one key while also moving and aiming simultaneously, so I keep whiffing kind of bad. Go. Now what is this? I guess that's gonna open... Oh, there's a bunch of switches. Do I shoot these, or... Is there an interact button? I hit F. Alright. Back to full screen. I don't know. Q key. Q key, we'll do this, okay. So I don't know. Oh, I guess we have to do that to move on. I think you have to kill all the enemies, so go ahead and get these switches. Don't know why that missed. Wow. All of those missed. Alright, I think we're good now. Let's get... Oh, we don't need any health. Oh, got some flickers on the screen. Another chest. Freezing shells. 20% freeze chance. That sounds extremely good actually for a weapon with like a shotgun, because it seems like if you're going to shoot like 4 bullets or something, 5 bullets per shot, then you're going to have like 100% chance of freezing things practically. Almost 100%. I keep having to think about which keys are going to open and close the different menus. So I think if this is going to work, we just get... Yeah, we just get them, so this doesn't remove anything or anything. We just get like super... Alright, one thing I'm noticing is that we have like a 20% freeze chance, and then apparently we have a 10% crit chance, but like these seem like similar pieces of information, but they're in 2 different places, so I can understand that this isn't attached to anything here. Or is it? I actually wonder why that is. Maybe that's just the default that all weapons have 10% crit chance? Probably is. But yeah, I think that it would make sense to put, like, since you also have a 20% freeze chance, that you could put that information here too. So, and I think... Oh. I guess if... So if you do get a freezing bullet, then you can see it come out, I think. It has the little particles. Because I don't always get one. But yeah, it's like... It's obviously not 100% of the time, but it looks like at least 50% of the time, just by RNG, I'm getting like freeze bullets in the spread, so that should be like super powerful. That actually should be more than 50%, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Now, I gotta try and decipher the map here. I guess the yellow one is the one I'm in right now. So I go this way, I think. Oh, that guy's big. Oh gosh, those are fast bullets. Why are they so fast? Ah. Holy crap. No, 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 no. This is not cool. Come on. Oh, I forgot I can jump, but it's not helping. I don't know if you can jump over enemies, but I was stuck on something. Oh gosh. Jumping helps to move faster. Holy cow. Oh yeah, there's something that I'm getting stuck on. I don't think you can jump over. I don't know what happens if you jump and shoot. Does it still hit enemies? Or does it like go over them? Alright, so we gotta talk about something after I hopefully survive this encounter. Yeah, jumping definitely helps. Whoa! Those guys are really messing me up though. Jeez. Oh, come on. I just can't get the bullets out fast enough. And there's more and more. There's so much stuff on the ground, I can't see the enemies clearly enough. Especially with the frame rate being rather low right now. Ah, for goodness sake. Oh my gosh, okay. There's still more enemies. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Yeah, that reload time I have to deal with now because of... Jeez, I jumped in it. Ah, getting stuck on stuff behind the walls. It's really painful. Holy cow, okay. Alright, so a bunch of stuff we gotta talk about here. Yeah, obviously getting surrounded by the massive pile of enemies was not fun. It is interesting that like I survived pretty handily even though there was so much going on and I took a ton of damage. Generally these sorts of games tend to be on the side of like you die kind of fast when you take damage. And there's some kind of validity to that in terms of if you design a game with a focus on trying to make sure that damage is always avoidable, which is definitely a thing you should always do. You know, as long as damage is avoidable, you know, through skillful play is what I mean. If the player can reasonably avoid damage with skillful play, then, you know, that's a really good game design generally. So when you get into these situations where sometimes, you know, it's pretty common that games like these can get really messy and you can end up in a lot of situations where it's just almost impossible to avoid damage. And so like kind of the thing that ends up happening is you know, if you're a developer and you're trying to balance your game, then you end up kind of giving the player a lot of health to work with to kind of counteract the fact that they're going to end up taking a lot of damage just as they're playing. So it's sort of like a little bit of a compensation for some inadequacies in the design. I definitely think there are areas where you can make it so that you can more consistently avoid damage. Some of the enemy attacks are like super fast, and you know, there's other things you can work with. The fact that I keep running into these, whatever is over here, box or something, or it's one of these random tiles that you have collision on, especially when it's behind the wall like this, when I'm trying to strafe around the enemies and I hit one of these things, it just really screws me up. Really not enjoying that aspect of it. There's a lot of blood and stuff on the ground here. I'm dropping frames even though there's no enemies. I would definitely suggest considering putting this stuff on a timer so it disappears after a few seconds. It adds a lot of visual noise that makes it a lot harder to see enemies and stuff at the same time as hurting the performance. Another thing is that something that's probably less obvious. Oh, there's still an enemy here. Oh, these guys just spawn infinite enemies. Oh my gosh. No wonder it took me so long to kill everyone here. You gotta put a limit on those or something. But another thing that might be less obvious. So I have this shotgun character. He can only shoot like a short distance. When you have these enemies that have these little automatic weapons, and particularly when their bullets are rather fast and they just aim at you and just kind of hold down the trigger, it makes it extremely hard to get in close enough to them to use the shotgun, because they just stand there and they point their gun at you all the time and just hold down the trigger, you know. So it's the closer you get to the enemy, the more difficult it is to avoid that kind of fire from them. The little automatic weapons, they're usually like 3 shots or something, or 4 shots in a little burst. But either way, it's like, you know, if they're over here and I'm here, then they're shooting at me and I can pretty easily avoid all those. But I have to go in to engage them with the shotgun. I have no other choice. I do have another weapon actually. I didn't even think about that. But so I mean, that could have been an option. But considering this weapon in particular, closer and closer I get, it becomes almost impossible to avoid that kind of fire. So there are things you can do to mitigate that. One is, you know, the speed of the bullets. If you drop that down, then that helps things a lot. And you know, you can have a little more time in between their bursts. That might help a little. Another thing you can do is have them not aim at you instantaneously, so they might have to like have a limited rotation speed. It doesn't have to be slow or anything, but just so that like if you do like strafe around them, maybe they wouldn't, like, especially once you get closer to them, if you're like strafing around them, maybe they wouldn't like track you instantaneously. It might take them a bit to get their sights on you if you stop moving or something. Okay, I have no idea what just happened. So I went to jump over this that little chasm you saw. I jumped to the left and then I ended up way down here. I don't know, something hit me, I guess, and knocked me down there because I definitely didn't like go in that direction. I just like went left and then jumped and then I went. So that was weird. I didn't even think you could go down there. So I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna try this guy real quick. Oh shoot, so there's a problem here. I didn't read the abilities, and again there's no way to check them, so I have to do it based on memory. So I remember this is the charge. This is on 2. Alright, this is the reflect bullets thing. Oh, you're so slow. Holy cow! This is so different from all the other weapons. Wait, what in the heck? So I guess it has... Oh, that's very interesting. So that's kind of a rotation-based recoil. So like it doesn't go towards where I'm pointing it. It kind of rotates away from it. So it's sort of intuitive in the direction, in the way it kind of goes up, even though it's technically not up in the game world. But on the screen it kind of goes up. So it kind of feels intuitive, but it's definitely interesting in the way that it just kind of rotates away from where you're aiming as you hold down the fire button. Interesting idea for sure. I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe that's something that other games have done, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, this thing shoots so fast and has so many bullets and range. It's not... The range actually seems inconsistent. When you first shoot it, it only goes here, but then it goes like further when you hold it down. It goes like way far when you hold it down. That's weird. So I guess the range increases also. But yeah, it's cool because you can in fact compensate for this sort of recoil effect, which kind of feels cool, and that's it's actually a really interesting concept. That's a little bit more of a skill element for the player to work with. Now, what's the 3? 3 must be passive. I don't know what this is. Shoot. And there's no way to go back to the main menu that I know of. That's too bad. Is that the one where he gets more health? I think it's when he gets more health every time he kills enemies near him. I think that's what that is. And then the dash. Oh. Alright, that's going to be really hard to use with reaching for the 2 key, because I have to take my finger off of the WSD and then reach up to 2 and then like aim it right, or it's not going to be useful. But yeah, that apparently scales with my health total. Oh, it's awkward. Why are all those bullets missing now? Oh, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. Like, really, really stuck. What is going on? Alright, hold on. Alright, that was a lot harder to compensate for than I originally thought. But also the hitboxes on the enemies are really small, it seems. So it's hard to hit. So alright, so I think there's just something right here. It's to my right, I think. Behind this wall, and I think the enemies just surrounded me, so I couldn't move in any direction. I was hitting jump, I was shooting, I couldn't get out. So that was really rough. I wondered, does the dash scale based on your total health or your current health? Oh my gosh, it's a lot harder to compensate for than I expected. It also swaps sides. So like over here, it rotates clockwise, and over here it's counterclockwise. So like if you're shooting up here, then you kind of go over here, then you have to like flip your brain around the way you're trying to compensate for it. But yeah, it was a lot harder to hit those enemies than I expected. Between compensation required and the fact that the enemy hitboxes are really quite small. Oh, there's too many stuff. Holy cow. Oh, that still hit me. I thought I was safe there. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Getting stuck. Lost track of myself amongst everything on the screen. Oh, there's just too much stuff. What the heck? How did I get back here? Alright. I probably should try to use the shield at some point there, but yeah, there's way too many enemies. That guy's definitely harder to play than the other ones. But yeah, there was a ton of enemies there, and they really tore me apart. So yeah, it makes sense, of course, to have different kind of difficulty levels on the different characters. So I can't really complain about that. Seems reasonable. Didn't have a lot of success with that guy. I didn't. Oh, it's so hard to. Oh, jeez, yeah, they do, like, they can hit you really fast over and over again, just running into you. I really don't like that. It's not fun. And the other thing is that, again, like, I walked into this and the room lit up and there's a guy just like right here in front of me. And I was trying to focus on throwing the turret down, so I wasn't focusing on my self-preservation against this one enemy here. Again, I can't say I care for the RNG spread on the bullets. It's just too much. It just adds too much randomness to the game. You're just missing a lot of shots that you don't need to. Like that's really just annoying, and it. You know, when you add RNG to an action game like this, you just kind of remove the player's skill element, kind of proportionately. So that's not such a great thing. Alright, gotta go down, I guess. I don't think there's a point to exploring around here unless I had to kill more enemies or look for health. Jeez, yeah, I don't like that instant dash attack. That's totally unavoidable. Alright, I will say real quick, since it just crossed my mind, this whole concept of the modular weapons and stuff is really cool. I like this kind of stuff. But obviously I haven't been playing very well, I haven't been getting very far in the game, but you don't encounter that stuff as much as I expected to kind of experiment with different things. So I think it would be nice if you kind of encountered more than you currently do, so that, I mean, here's one, speak of the devil, but sort of feels a little rare, and sometimes you get this. I haven't even like used the grenades like at all. Yeah, I mean, obviously some of them are just like upgrades, but you know, you can add more that are just sort of side grades or whatever, and then you know, the appropriate kind of design, you can find the ones that synergize well with the particular weapon you have, and then you can, you know, add in that element of putting together all these different weapons and stuff, incorporate it more. So I'm not so focused on just shooting enemies. So now apparently we got more than one thing here. Oh my gosh. 100% fire rate, 5 ammo, minus 30% accuracy, 18% recoil, minus 30% bullet speed. Right, this seems like it's rare or something. I don't know if there's like, this is bullet overload or bullet hell. I don't know if like the yellow text means anything or why there's 2 of these. I don't know what these are. Does this like add an ability or something? Press Q. Yeah, I don't know why there's another icon here. I don't know what that means. This is bullet hell. I don't know what that means, but this is totally weird. Alright. And again, I don't think I can like remove this or even deactivate it. I'd like to have more ability to customize things, just like opening the menu and being able to tweak and modify things a little. But yeah, I feel like we have more than 100% fire rate, because I don't think it's doubled. I think it's like tripled or something. Less accurate, more recoil, less bullet speed. But yeah, this is, but 5 ammo. I guess we get 5 more ammo than we had. And so this has to be some like really rare one, because it's like really OP. Like obviously OP. Like this is gonna murder everything. So this is one of these things. I mean, it's obviously cool to have like really rare drops like these that you can find in your runs. But I do kind of wonder about this one, if it's just really obviously OP like this. Usually I think though, for this sort of roguelike game, it's a good idea for the really rare and kind of OP things to like be OP in certain situations rather than just being like straight up OP all the time. So like when it combines with like a certain other item or something that you have, then it kind of becomes OP. That sort of thing I think is a lot more interesting than just like making something that's just really obviously going to make whatever gun you put it on like 5 times as good. It's just what I feel like just happened. I can only imagine if this is on like a shotgun or something. Well, it's probably more dangerous on a longer ranged weapon, but where am I going here? Let's see if I can survive for a little while longer so that I can... Oh, I wonder if this makes my turret like super good too. It probably does. My turret's probably gonna... Oh, excuse me. Which is interesting to think about, because if I get a super OP gun, then the fact that I'm this character is gonna make my turret also OP. It's just like slightly debuffed. Like not even that much. So that's a really interesting element to consider for this character. So I gotta try and use that. I should look for health. It does add a lot of spread, of course, but like who cares? I'll just get closer. It's a lot of spread. Oh, well, here's a boss. Oh. Okay, so if I'm being smart, I should try and get more health before I do this. I'm just not finding any. Hopefully I can walk across this. Very loud. Alright, we got full health. I feel a little nervous. I'm getting that tension from like having something awesome and just knowing I could really botch everything and die like really fast. So we're gonna see what happens with this boss here. I'll try and remember to throw down the turret, which is the 3 key, and I'll try to remember that I have a grappling hook that I haven't used like at all. Can I just throw it down beforehand? Look at this, it's just multiplying my OP-ness. Oh, jeez, that's so hard to avoid. No! No! How do... Okay. Whoa, okay. So a couple of things. One thing, like if the boss is off the screen and I'm standing here and this laser just instantaneously hits me, it's really not fun. That guy was like destroying me with those lasers really bad, but I just had these turrets that just completely destroyed him, so then, you know, I obviously won. But yeah, there's definitely some elements to that boss that I would consider tweaking to make it, you know, more clearly avoidable damage and stuff. The other thing is it put all this stuff up here in the wall. Okay, I can get to the stock. Even more fire rate, less accuracy, even, holy crap, 20% mobility. Is that my move speed? Or is that, what, I don't know what mobility means, but oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Now what's over here? Quick handle, faster detonation for a grenade. Do I even want that? I haven't even used the grenades. I'm kind of a little bummed that they don't like auto recharge, because that makes me never want to use them. But I guess you might find more in things like this. Now I'm sure there's a... Oh, I can get these. 5% mobility. Alright, so I've managed to get all this stuff even though it's in the wall, which is obviously bad. But my gosh, this is so OP right now. So OP. I need more health, but it's so OP. And yeah, I didn't use the grappling hook. I couldn't get that heart. Oh boy. Oh no. Jeez, that guy's strong. Yeah, I got like really cornered in this narrow corridor, and that giant guy with the freaking rapid fire gun with the giant bullets, that was not fun. Obviously with a gun like this, it's gonna get me out of that situation, but if I didn't have this, that would have been really rough. Like, there's just nowhere to go to try and avoid that guy. Oh, there's all these bottomless pits. That's really disconcerting. Just knowing that something could happen and I could fall into one of these at any moment. Oh, jeez, I tried to jump over him. And I'm trying not to blow up these things. Oh, game hitched for a bit there. Oh, it happened. Okay, well, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I've obviously had like the most OP gun in the world, so that sucks, but I'm really not quite understanding, I guess, like in these places where there's these things that you can fall down in, I guess you can fall, like, I thought there was like a wall here. Like if I look at this where I am right now, obviously there's no things to fall into right now, but like if you look at this right now, you can't really tell the difference between this being a wall and this being like a ledge that you could just walk off of into the darkness and fall. Obviously we know better and it's a wall, but in that other situation I was just in, I don't know, I can only assume that this is like a ledge you could just fall off of, but there's no way to tell the difference between that and a wall. So I just fell off the ledge and then I died and it ended my run, so it's really, I don't know, it's not great. Right here is a thing you can fall into. Oh, I'm stuck. Ugh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so that was interesting. I should probably wrap this up. It was funny just how like incredibly overpowered I was, and especially if I was better at using the turrets, then that would have destroyed everything. Probably took me through the whole game with that. Oh, that freezes me. With that ridiculously powerful weapon. But yeah, so hopefully this was useful. I wonder if I can jump over that. I can. There's definitely some interesting concepts here. A lot of cool little elements of design that are really interesting and cool and fun. So yeah, I like the game. There's a bunch of stuff that I think can be improved upon, which hopefully I got across clearly enough. And I think if you could manage to polish all that stuff, this could be a really fun game. Yeah, I like the idea that the game hung for a minute. So yeah, there's some weird performance stuff. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's definitely messing with things. Yeah, hopefully this is useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and look forward to seeing where it goes. I will see you in the next video.